Let's start with your reading, Aquarius. Today, we are going to look into your recent past, current energies, and near future. And then we will immediately clarify in order to find out more details about your messages. Now, let's begin right away with your reading. Wow. Okay. I mean, you got 3 cards that talk about moving on and 1 card that talks about healing, finding balance, and then eventually a surprise. Let's see. Okay. The main energy for the reading today is death, rebirth. There is something here that deeply changed you, Aquarius. Whether you are aware of it or not, this is definitely something that transformed you in a very deep way. In order for something to have such an impact on you, it means that you were invested into it. You believed in it. And when things turned out differently than expected, you were forced to look at something you were doing or something that you allowed to happen at a certain degree. And from that moment forward, I see you making to yourself a silent promise, promising yourself that you were never going to allow that to happen in your life ever again. This is a very important moment. It might have been painful, yes, but it taught you a lot. Let's see what this was about and where it's taking you now in the present and in the future. First of all, in the recent past, 4 of Swords, 8 of Cups. You have walked away from something here, but not before trying to make things work many, many times. This energy feels very slow to me for some reason. And it's as if it took you a while to fully let go of this person, let go of this connection. And mainly because of that original investment we were talking about at first, something you believed in, something that you wanted to work out. There's a lot more to this situation, and we'll look into it as soon as we clarify. Now, in the current energies, 10 of Wands, 6 of Swords, that's why this energy feels slow, because it has taken you a while, and maybe you are still doing it right now, still working on it right now. This one, though, especially the 6 of Swords, adds something very important to the picture. This is that promise you're making to yourself, understanding that there is a lesson to learn here, understanding that negative things in life are only as permanent as you allow them to be. And from now on, you want to let go of everything or anyone who brings that level of negativity in your life, who adds baggage on you, and you do not want to deal with this anymore. There is something very important happening here, and I kind of see some results right away, some quick rewards. We'll look into it when we come back to this. In the near future, Justice and that surprise, Knight of Cups. There is some sort of emotional awakening happening here. Your heart starts beating fast for someone, but at the same time, I see you very much guarded, defensive, especially considering where you're coming from. It doesn't surprise me. We'll see when we clarify if I'm right about this, but I do get the sense that you have closed your door when it comes to love. You just wanted to recover, to rebuild, but there is some sort of surprise here. Perhaps an old wish coming true, and it will immediately place you back on that emotional path that you're trying to avoid right now, because again, you're trying to rebuild yourself. You're trying to find yourself again, not a connection. But obviously, we'll see what this is about when we clarify. Let's start clarifying, and let's begin with your recent past. Ace of Cups, King of Swords, and the Emperor. What's going on here with death. You know, I see you at some point here going on autopilot. I mean, this King of Swords, this Emperor, it's really showing us someone, you in this case, who's doing something because that's how they are supposed to do it, you know? Right here, I see you fighting for something that was not at all what it used to be at first. Look at it at first. Beautiful Ace of Cups. Fighting because that's what you did up to that point. But in a way, not knowing anymore why you were fighting for this. Fear of change, perhaps? Not wanting for things to change and transform in a way that would have forced you to really rethink everything and rebuild yourself from scratch. Sometimes we hold on so tight to a version of ourselves that we forget that these are just chapters, and chapters begins and ends constantly. There's no use in rereading the same page over and over again. There is much more to come unless you keep yourself stuck. And I feel that right here, eventually you realize that. That's why we have this death energy right here, really putting a stop to this, because eventually you have lost that motivation. You have lost that fire. And there is no one who can blame you for that here. Let's see what's going on in the present. Why are you still moving on from this? Let's see what you should know about the current energies. Four of Wands, Five of Swords, and the Fool with the Seven of Pentacles. You know, first of all, you're being very, very honest to yourself here, Aquarius, which is always major when you want to find happiness and emotional fulfillment. Right here, you are looking back at your own behavior back then. And since the emotional urge and connection has started to now fade away, you don't feel the same way you used to feel, you are seeing yourself clearly and perhaps thinking, why did I try so hard? Why did I do all of those things I was doing, all of those things I was saying for someone who clearly did not deserve it? There is a very important lesson here about forcing things that do not seem to work out. And you're starting to tell yourself, I am not going to force anything ever again. If it works, great, perfect. If it doesn't, then I'll move on. Sometimes we do not want to let go because of fear of failure, you know, having to admit to our friends, our family, and to ourselves that a connection that we really believed in and we fought for has eventually failed. But there is no such thing as failure, really. When you win, you win. When you lose, you learn. And this is what you're doing right now. So do not fear any of this. And do not feel ashamed in the slightest, for those of you who actually feel ashamed. You know, it's very important here to really understand that we all take risks with the Fool and we all make mistakes eventually. But the biggest mistake that we can make is not even trying. You tried. Things didn't work out. Don't put it on you, Aquarius. There's much more to come. And so let's look into it. Let's clarify the near future energy. The Devil, the Nine of Wands, Nine of Cups, and the Page of Swords. You know, the truth is that overall you are open to love, but you do not want to rush into anything. You know, we see here the Nine of Cups. You have something that you're secretly, low-key hoping for it to happen, but at the same time, Nine of Wands. You're just saying, you know what? I do not want to rush into anything. I don't want to invest myself into something that it's brand new, just like I used to do. Right here, you do not want to fit and adapt into a situation that maybe is not going to meet your requirements, your expectations. Not anymore, at least. That part of you is dead and gone. You want to make room for a better outcome, shedding everything and everyone around you who hinders you and who does not understand you. You might have tried to not look into it, but deep down, you have been feeling ready for someone who completes you. And let's say one thing right away with that devil energy really is clear to me. You're not looking for someone to balance you, not looking for someone to give you what you need. You're wanting to do that for yourself. Right here, you're just wanting for that extra element that completes the picture. That beautiful background song playing in a beautiful movie scene, completing something that was already perfect. And above it all, you want someone who is mature this time, and someone who is in the same place in life that you are in right now. Now, we do see someone coming your way, someone who might be spying on you with this Page of Swords. And this person looks very familiar for some reason. Look at that Nine of Cups. This could easily be someone from the past, a connection you thought that would never happen, or a connection that happened and then was over, but it comes back for a redo for some reason. It feels like the universe is conspiring for this to happen now, to happen again. There is a reason why this is happening, and we'll have to find out next. So far, we've seen that your main goal at the moment, Aquarius, is to differentiate in between what you want and what you need. Understanding that you are way more powerful than you think. Understanding that the only person you need to rely on and the only person you need to impress is yourself. Make space for yourself. Treat yourself. But don't lose yourself on that tangent, because you have a beautiful surprise coming your way. Don't push the world away just because now you're trying to counterbalance everything that has happened up to this point. This is something that will validate to you the fact that now you are on the right path. Where is this path going to take you in the next few months and a year from now? Let's look into it. And let's also see what else you have coming your way that you should know about right now. If you want to dive deeper into the messages with me, just follow me in the extended reading link below in the description box. Also, Aquarius, don't forget that every single week I randomly select viewers who have watched the extended video to offer them a 100% free personal live 45-minute reading. I send out emails every Monday morning. Make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended reading, Aquarius. The bridging energy taking us from this current situation to the incoming events. Look what's back. The Nine of Cups once again. Weren't we just talking about an old wish coming true? That's why this card keeps coming up. This is talking about wish fulfillment, manifested dream, and overall a major sense of satisfaction, as if everything was finally just falling into place and working in your favor this time. It feels like the tables have turned, and everything that made you struggle in the past now instead comes back to balance those previous events in a pretty drastic way as well. There is something very special about this energy, because on one hand, you did not see it coming. On the other hand, you knew that eventually this would have happened when it came to this person, this situation. And here you have it, Aquarius. The Nine of Cups also talks about you loving yourself. Very, very good self-esteem. And, you know, it would be quite impossible for you to not love yourself with all these incoming events. And this really will place you in the perfect position to fall in love and to get to your next chapter. What is this chapter going to be about? Let's look into it. Let's start clarifying. Actually, let's keep going with the reading. But I want to start clarifying this Nine of Cups one more time because there is something to it that we haven't seen yet, which is really going to kickstart it all for you. Let's see what that's about, and then we will see how this whole situation is bound to evolve. Four of Swords, Justice, once again. Oh my God! The Nine of Cups came up 3 times. I wanted to say it. What if it comes up again and I didn't? I should have. Ooh, okay. So we have actually something very important here. What we see right away is that this